Hello and welcome to a guide on how to slay Hydrix dragons for a ridiculous amount of slayer experience per hour without requiring the hard Karamja achievement. So whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. This method is something I thought would be fixed, but it never happened. The PvMe Discord and my crew already created a guide about this method, and I'm a little late to the party, but here we are. This method requires 90 plus combat stats, 95 plus prayer, and 96 plus herblore. The Hydrix dragons in Elite Dungeons 2 may not have a slayer level requirement, but to get a dragon's cluster task to actually kill these, you will require level 90 slayer and level 120 combat to get a task from IKEA Girl. There's a couple of useful things for this method, but it comes down to basically killing these dragons as fast as possible. Some notable useful things are Dominion Mines, the Dragon Slayer Invention perk, the Dragon Slayer ability, which is quite expensive, and Dragon Slayer gloves, which require 200 Fist of Guthix tokens to buy, which give you 15% more Slayer experience and 10% more accuracy against dragons on Slayer tasks. Hydrix dragons have 75,000 life points, are level 118 combat, and give you a whopping 17,000 combat and Slayer experience per kill. These can be done on both a gemstone and dragon's cluster task and do not require gems like they do in the Karamja dungeon. The gear setup is straightforward, just use your best setup in whatever combat style you wish, but I would recommend using ranged and mechanized Chinchompas to AoE them down quickly. The main thing you want to have is a scrimshaw sacrifice to give you 50% more Slayer experience at the cost of all of your drops. Don't worry about the drops as they're pretty much worthless anyway in Elite Dungeon 2. Other notable things to bring along are a bladed dive switch and a power burst of acceleration to get through the dungeon quickly to get back to killing those Hydrix dragons. The only reason you can see a Sun Spear there and a Ring of Vigor is because that's my planted feet switch. If you have lower tier weapons or you're just not as fast, you might want to use Death Swiftness to get the Hydrix dragons down. With my setup though, and especially if you're using something like an Essence of Finality with Darkbow spec, there's no reason to really use Death Swiftness as you kill them quite quickly given that they are stacked properly and you can just chin them down. Before you can do this method, you need to go through the first two bosses of Elite Dungeons 2 and then teleport to the fourth section of the dungeon. In this section, you're going to kill these 4 dragons right here. Then you're going to kill these 2 Dragonstone dragons, and then you'll have access to the barrier. Now you don't want to kill the Dragonstone dragons a little further along, you just want to kill the 2 Hydrix dragons, then teleport out, and repeat the process by going back to this location and killing those Hydrix dragons. All you need to do to reset those 2 Hydrix dragons is by teleporting to the PvM hub, or teleporting outside using the teleport tablets you can buy from the reward shop for 1000 tokens, and then going back in and back to the location by using the Elite Dungeon chest, teleporting to the 4th spot, so just press 4, and there's running back. Now clustering up the 2 Hydrix dragons is the hardest part or hardest thing about this method, and it can be a little bit infuriating. Sometimes they just don't want to move and stand next to each other so that you can chin them down, and you're going to have to move around to try and get them into position. Now the best way to cluster them up, at least in my opinion, one of the more consistent ways, is by surging past them and then attacking the one that is furthest away from you, so the back one, and then chinning that one, because if you attack the front one, the chins don't seem to work sometimes. It's really weird why, but yeah, just surge past them, attack the furthest away one, and then you should be able to chin them down 4 out of 5 times. Now in terms of getting back, every 2 runs you should be able to use your power burst of acceleration to surge and bladed dive back to the position really fast, and if you do this correctly you should be able to get around 80 kills per hour on average, which is over 1.35 million Slayer experience per hour and about the same amount of common experience per hour, which is really good. If you use a scrimshaw sacrifice, that Slayer experience per hour is boosted to 2 million experience per hour, which is ridiculously good. Your kills per hour will depend a little bit on your luck in terms of walking the dragons. If you mess up 2 or 3 times in a row, of course your kills per hour are going to be slower and the Slayer experience will be lower, and it happens, and sometimes you need to move around a lot, and sometimes you get hit by the special attack, which drains your adrenaline. It sucks, but whatever happens, these are still going to be the best Slayer method in the game, apart from maybe Ripper Demons if you are able to get away with a scrimshaw sacrifice. But that being said, I don't think you would be using that there, and these are far easier than Ripper Demon chinning or barraging and Moss Golem cannoning, so I would say this is the most chill, best Slayer training method in the game. Now of course you can get way more kills than this per hour, but this is a general metric without tryharding too badly, and I think that's the right metric to use on my Slayer data spreadsheet, and if you're interested in that, check the link in the description below. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.